All right, in this video, I want to go over how we orient ourselves in the nighttime sky and how we locate things in the nighttime sky. So there are a couple of ways to do that. There are global ways to describe the sky that are going to be the same for anybody, anywhere on Earth. And then there are local ways to describe the sky where you can easily direct somebody who's in your local nighttime sky. In this video, I want to talk about the global ways to describe the sky. And this is something that we call the celestial sphere. All right, so there's some important points and features of the celestial sphere, and the first one I want to talk about is something called the celestial poles. So this would be like if you could imagine drawing a line that goes straight through the rotation axis of the Earth and comes out the North Pole and out the South Pole. That line, if we could extend it all the way up into the sky, the point at which it hits the sky would be what we call the North Celestial Pole. So this point right here is directly above the North Pole on the Earth. And then we would also have a South Celestial Pole that would be directly above the South Pole on Earth. We can't see that here because I've got our sky set up like I'm in Lakewood, Washington, which is in the northern hemisphere, so I can't see the South Celestial Pole right now. I also want you to notice that the North Celestial Pole is not directly overhead. And this view that we've got of the sky directly overhead would be straight or exactly in the middle of my screen. And that's also not the case here because I am not at the North Pole. If I was at the North Pole, our North Celestial Pole would be right in the very tippy top, highest point in the nighttime sky, right in the middle. But because I'm at a latitude of about 47 degrees or so, the North Celestial Pole is actually 47 degrees above the northern horizon. Okay, so I'm talking about degrees above the horizon and things like that. And you might imagine it's sort of like latitude and longitude lines. So in fact, there are latitude and longitude lines on the sky as well, but we call them slightly different names. The first thing, though, is the celestial equator. And just like the name sounds, this is directly above the Earth's equator. So it's kind of like if the Earth had a hula hoop around it that went around the equator, and then we could extend that hula hoop out into the nighttime sky. This is what it would look like. This is the celestial equator. All right. And we have latitude lines that are parallel to the equator on Earth, and we get we get something called declination lines that are parallel to the celestial equator in the sky. And so I'll put those up as well as what we call right ascension lines, which are lines that go perpendicular to the equator in the sky. So this is our these are our right ascension and declination grid, which is the same as longitude and latitude on the Earth. Okay, so the right ascension are the ones that go kind of up and down like this, and the declination are the ones that are parallel to the equator. So we can see this point right here would be at a declination of 30 degrees, and it would have a right ascension between, this says 10, 11, 12, but these are actually in what we call hours. So it would have a right ascension of 11, almost 12 hours, this point right up here in the sky. Okay, so this is one way to describe the sky, and this is kind of like a global coordinate system, just like latitude and longitude is a global coordinate system.